Greetings and welcome to Shadowcast. Each edition we will be speaking with various guests about all manner of paranormal, the sinister, the anomalous, and the downright scary. My name is Lee.
Gotta say, who you got on?
Okay. My name is Lee, and we have Chris Ball Hero.
Thank you.
And Dave Bray.
Thank you very much.
This is our introductory episode, and this is just a general chat, a conversation about Halloween. We thought that we would put this together in time. It's not really a deep dive as such. We're going to have other guests for that in the future. But this edition is, as I say, a reminisce really about what Halloween means to us or what it may not mean to us. So let's start with Chris Ball Hero. What does Halloween mean to you?
Well, as it means to me, well, like I said, in the medieval times, it meant the start of the winter festival, as it meant years ago, as it was originally done in Ireland. But America have moved it on to the next spot. With England, I think it should be a bit more, I think people should go out more trick-or-treating. Like when I was younger, in my time, I was out trick-or-treating all the time. But nowadays, you don't see it in England. So I think Halloween was, like I said, it was originally in Ireland, but America have took it to the next step. So I think, Halloween is a bit special when I was a kid. I agree. Halloween now, I think we should get a holiday for it. That's my opinion. Because it's like it's like bonfire night. We should get a holiday for that because it's something that's helped in our history. Wouldn't you agree, Lee?
Yeah, I know where you're coming from. I think many folks would say, let's get St. George's Day first as a holiday and then look at other options. But yeah, I don't see why there couldn't be another bank holiday because it's a really long stretch, isn't it? We have one in August, at the end of August, and then we've got all the way until Christmas Day before the next bank holiday. So it would be really nice to have something in between.
Yeah, I think it'd be ideal because I think it's like they used to do, like I said before, and previously, like just said now, that we get a bank holiday like in August, but like they used to celebrate it the medieval times. So how come it's just like being like thrown away? You know what I mean? I don't know. What's your take on it, Dave?
Well, I think there's probably been lots of festivals that have been thrown away over the years, haven't they? I'm guessing Halloween's got that appeal because it's got that sort of spooky horror sort of link, hasn't it? I mean, me personally, it's not something I'm overly bothered with, to be honest. I'm not sure about it being a bank holiday. I agree, maybe St. George's Day should be. But yeah, I mean, I think maybe we need to look at the history, look at all these different festivals. It's interesting. There is quite a few.
Yeah, but if you go back, like I said, in the medieval times and the Celtic, before, they were the ones that created Halloween. It's like going in from a summer or autumn festival, getting ready for the winter. That's what I'm trying to say. You know what I mean? I'm trying to say it's going to the next step of the season. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's a really interesting way of looking at it. So it's what you're saying is that perhaps it would be a really good thing if we did mark the changing of seasons in a way that certainly in modern Britain we don't tend to do that much.
No, but I don't think they would even do it nowadays because it's gone on far too much, and the companies, businesses will go, oh, we're losing too much money, and it's just everyone businesses nowadays just think about money, you know what I mean? How much money, to make and that, you know what I mean? So they say, oh yeah, you can have Halloween off, you can have that extra day off, and then it's like, oh, we've lost money. You know what I mean? So, I personally, my opinion, I think all these like bonfire night, Halloween, that's in our history, like Guy Fawkes was in our history. All these holidays should be made as bank holidays, even St. George's Day, everything like that, because we're the less country that have bank holidays, if you must know.
I think there's lots of viewers who will agree with you there, Hero.
Well, I'm just saying how it is. You have all these events that come up. It's like you get Good Friday off, you get Easter Monday off. What's wrong with having Halloween off, having bonfire night off? What's wrong having two extra, and even St. George, three extra bank holidays? What I can't see what the point is. The only thing I can see the problem is that the government will say, wait a minute, the businesses are losing too much money. That is the only thing, because they think, well, we close for Boxing Day and close for Christmas Day. Yeah, close for New Year's Day, yeah, and close for Easter, and that's what they think, and May days as well, and that's what they think. They think, oh, they're losing too much money. So I think people would agree with me with these extra holidays. I think it would move the country more stable and everything. I think it would.
I think you've got the winter
Yeah.
and you've got the summer solstice, which will mark sort of the seasons, doesn't it? Winter and the summer.
Yeah, of course. Amongst some people with different spiritual beliefs, that's the marking of really important events.
And Halloween's obviously linked in with, well, I mean, to do with All Saints' Day, isn't it? Basically, it's the night of All Hallows Eve, the night of All Saints' Day, the next day.
Yes, that's right. Yeah, that there's all sorts of origins of Halloween, and I'm sure we might come onto that subject fairly shortly. But I've got 6 objects with me this evening. Shall we have a look at the first one?
Yeah.
Halloween parties.
Yeah. Yeah.
What do we think?
Yeah, that would be a good one, Lee. Yeah, I think. Yeah.
You get rid of John behind you.
Yeah, I know John's there.
It's like,
yeah.
bye.
Do we like going to Halloween parties, chaps?
Yeah.
Could do, I suppose. I'm not a big Halloween fan, but
Halloween at JFK's used to get busy, John, didn't it?
it did, yes. But it was always the worst night of the year. I thought it got a bit too busy. You got a lot of chavs, and you couldn't tell the chavs from the others,
That will head like the Halloween, or the sad goths would come out.
Yeah. Right.
Lee, have you got the second object we can look at?
I do. Let's put that there. So later on in Shadowcast, we'll be speaking with people who associate themselves with this kind of thing, with Wicca and with types of witchcraft and paganism in general. So the role of the witch in Halloween, is she important? Is she as important as she was in the Halloween story, do we think?
Yeah, I do think. I think the witch is importantly because it's their special day for Halloween, isn't it? It's like their day, isn't it? Really, the witch. And so I agree. Yeah, I think the witch is very, very important to the Halloween. Yeah, I think the witch is. Yeah.
And when we think of the word witch, I wonder what Dave thinks about this. When you say witch, what do we think? What's the image that we conjure in our minds?
Well, it depends. If you think as a child, you'd think a lady dressed in black with a pointed hat on a broomstick with a cat. But obviously, it goes back much more than that. I mean, you can go back to, say, the Bible times, which are sort of like witches or sorcerers were around. Obviously, a lot more of the main things was obviously predictions of the future or calling people out from the dead.
So yes, so that's one of the reasons why witches are synonymous with Halloween, isn't it? It's this spooky figure, this woman, as it was chosen, who is able to predict what's going to happen in the future. And it's all those spooky elements, and I think we've got an element of Mother Nature as well involved
You've
here.
got the black and like what you call the white witches, basically, isn't it? A lot of like pagan witches wouldn't consider themselves like evil. They're more about nature and things like that, isn't it?
That's right.
But like I say, you get the witch, like, you know, like you said to me that time in Dartmoor, you said that guy got turned into stone because he upset a couple of witches. Remember the bowman's nose or his head or something like that?
Bowerman's nose.
Yeah, and you said he got turned into stone.
That's right.
He knocked some witches. So witches, they're still around today, most probably. It's just that we don't hear much about them nowadays. That's all. But they're probably still around today.
But it's interesting how there's still the stereotype of, as Dave says, like the Wicked Witch of the West from The Wizard of Oz, this diminutive, creepy old crone with a long pointed nose, pimple on the end, and a black pointed hat. But that's a symbol that we've been sold over many years through, as Dave says again, through child's tales, through fairy tales. But actually, it doesn't represent at all what the witch is all about. But as I say, later on we'll be speaking to real life witches who can give us more professional guidance on this subject. Are we ready for another item?
Yeah, go ahead.
Halloween, if it's about one thing, it's surely about death.
Skeletons.
So why on earth do we think we celebrate a festival that essentially is about death?
Oh, like I say, we celebrate it because it goes back. Like I said, it goes back for years and years and years and years. So it's not, we celebrate it in like dressing up as costumes, but when they used to do it, they used to like, give gifts to the dead. Used to give food. Used to put it out and all that for the dead because I think it was to respect the dead as well. That they're dead, but they're still with us in their lives. And they used to say open a universe so the dead could walk through and you could speak to the dead. That's my opinion as well of it, but there could be other opinions of it as well. I don't know, Dave, have you got any opinions of it?
Well, I was going to go back to the Christian side, aren't I? So I think that, or to do All Saints Day, obviously it's a Catholic thing, and obviously I'm guessing that people would think about the saints that existed in the past, the people that did some good in their society. In this part of the world, especially out in Cornwall, there's so many saints around. So I'm guessing there would be a time to look back at those sort of people that lived in the past and people we can learn from.
So there's an interesting subject that's been raised here. We're essentially talking about our link with our ancestors, or certainly people from the past who we still wish to have some sort of connection with. Would we agree with that?
Yeah, I would agree with that because it was our ancestors that that did it, that started all the Halloween stuff and that. You know what I mean? So I do, it goes back to them really of the Halloween, and you know what I mean. It's like it's not even like the Guy Fawkes night that goes back to when he tried to bomb House of Barmount. So it goes back to they were the ones that started it. you know, and like I say, all right, Halloween's all over the world now. Yeah, that's all right. But I'm just saying there is some things that are British that should stay British, which we got Guy Fawkes. But I just agree that Halloween should be maybe not just England's everyone's holiday. I think it should be everyone's. I think it should be all around the world's holiday. I think the whole world should have it off,
as it were.
as it were. Yeah. That's my opinion, but I can't really say much more unless the government changes it. Really.
Are we ready for object number 5?
Yeah, go ahead.
It's number 4, actually.
Number 4.
Pumpkins. So, pumpkins, obviously, visually, it's one of the main things that you would expect to see on a Halloween night if you were walking in a residential area, certainly in England. And these pumpkins, originally, hundreds of years ago, these would have been turnips. Countries in Western Europe would use turnips to carve faces into them, and they would be designed to scare spirits away from your house, because Halloween, or Samhain as they called it, was the time where, as you've mentioned, Hero, where the veil between this world and the next is at its thinnest. So they were worried about spirits entering into our universe and bothering us. So they would have these scary faces etched into turnips to scare them away. Now, when Irish immigrants came into the USA, 18th century-ish, they discovered that pumpkins were much easier to carve. So they threw away the turnips and started to use pumpkins. And of course, having a candle inside on a dark night will show the features so much easier.
Yeah, well, like I say, pumpkins. I haven't seen many pumpkins in England, to be honest with you. I've seen a lot in America, because I like to say America took Halloween to the next step, as I said before. But I haven't really seen much of the pumpkin stuff in England. I don't know if England should bring it back to like it, you know, just how can I say this? Just go a bit more forward with stuff. You know what I mean? And then maybe the government might say, well, people are taking this more serious, this holiday. People may think, oh, we'll give this as a bank holiday.
I think you see them more around Halloween time in the supermarkets and that, but the rest of the year you don't really see pumpkins around too much.
No, and it's big business as well, isn't it? In Lifton, in Devon, you've got a huge field where they grow pumpkins, and they charge locals or people from far afield, for that matter, to come in and buy them for about £6-7 each. They come and pick their own and take them away. So it's that commercialization that we're seeing, that we've seen with Christmas, also very prevalent in Halloween as well. But I think this year I'm going to buck the trend, and I'm going to use turnips for my creepy faces at our front door, to go back to the very old ways.
Yeah, I did read about the turnips,
more difficult to carve.
Yeah, I did read about it, but isn't it true that the pumpkin's called Jack-o'-lantern, is the name?
Yes, that's right. Yes, I've heard about that, Dave. Yes, jack-o'-lanterns.
Apparently, like in Somerset, there was a festival called what was it called now? Punky or something. A Punky Night. And it was in the 19th century.
That sounds fantastic. That sounds like a day out.
Wikipedia. I did research earlier. But it's a representation, I think, of like spirits, or to ward evil spirits away, I believe.
Yeah, but how do you know if they're good spirits or bad spirits? You wouldn't know, would you really? If
Well,
they're bad spirits or if they're good spirits.
I think most people don't want spirits around, to be honest.
Well, I
They're
wouldn't
not
want
of
any
this world.
spirits. I wouldn't want those spirits to say, "Oh, hello."
I don't think it makes a difference if they're good or bad. To us, they'd probably be quite scary.
Yeah.
Time for another object, I think.
Yeah.
Really, this is a continuation of what we're talking about with the theme of death. And this here, it's obviously it's a cheap plastic toy, the kind of decoration that you see at Halloween. And it says here, Monsieur Valdemar, 1845, as I am, so shall ye be. In other words, we're all going to die. Not very jolly on the face of it, is it?
No,
But again, it's maybe that
Satan,
connection.
isn't it? It looks like Satan to me on that gravestone.
Well, yes, we've got some bat skeleton thing going on there.
To me, it looks like the devil.
Well, I'm sure some viewers will be thinking that a celebration of Halloween may well be some kind of alliance with darker forces that shouldn't be messed with.
Shouldn't be messed with. But then the holiday, you don't have to go out and celebrate and get drunk and that. You just you just have the day off. Relax. You know what I mean? It's not about going out partying all the time and then going to the graveyards and wrecking the gravestones and trying to bring up the dead and nothing. It's nothing like that, is it? It's just a day off, isn't it? A bank holiday. Just going through the years of what's happened. For like Dave's sake, it could be good for like you, Dave, as well, because Christians and that, can it? And you know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean that's the point, really. I mean, people should be able to do, like, for example, Christmas or Easter. They may not understand, have their own idea of what that is, but they can do their own thing, can't they? So
Oh
Halloween,
yeah,
you could make it as it was meant to be about the saints or something like that, or about something else, people of the past, people missionaries or something like that, couldn't you?
yeah.
Yeah,
It's not all about. Go on. No, go on, Lee.
so I guess what you're saying there is that Halloween can be what you want it to be.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, to me, a lot of Christians, it has got a lot of negative ideas, and maybe it's to do with commercialism, or which was not just all about that, is it? If you go back to the origins.
And of course, there is the Halloween music, isn't there?
Yes.
We all like a Halloween party with the Monster Mash.
I prefer the Halloween, the band.
Yes.
Or you get Thriller as well.
Oh, of course, Thriller. Yes, that's the obvious one, isn't it? At the party.
Yeah.
Talk about Halloween films and that. I mean, I mentioned to Chris about this. Have you seen all the Halloween films?
I certainly saw the original three, and then most, I think, of the more recent ones.
What's your personal favourite?
So often with me, it's the original. I love the first Halloween. Really, for me, it was the first proper slasher. Film buffs will disagree with that, but for me,
I mean, I like Halloween 3. A lot of people don't, but I think that's more to do with the actual Halloween festival. There's a lot in it about that mentioned in the film.
I do need to see that again. That number three. I saw it once or twice and didn't think that much of it. But it may be on later on next month, so I'll try and catch it if it's on TV or Netflix.
I believe it's still John
You got-
Carpenter film.
Have you got another object to show then?
I do. It's one final one. It's not so much a conversation piece. It's just something to wear for the rest of the show.
Or the witch's hat.
The witch's hat.
We didn't mention about bobbing the apples.
Bobbing the
Wishing they were the
apples. Would you
witch's
like
nut.
to talk
Sent me a
about
message
that, Dave?
earlier. And it
Apple
goes back-
bobbing. What do we know about apple bobbing? Do we know about the origins?
apparently, reading what I've heard, it goes back along back to the Roman times, and they mixed it with the Celtic festivals going on at the time. So that's how far it goes back. And it's also, I think it was used as a game at times for like young people, and whoever won the game would be allowed to marry.
Ah, okay.
Back to that then. Never knew. It went
There's
back
lots
to the
of
Roman
like
times.
origins of these things around the world. Same with the lanterns and things like that. It's been linked with Willow the Wisp. Very similar story.
Oh, yes, these ethereal beings that hover around at night time.
Yeah, and it's all around Europe. There's variations of the story.
Never knew about that then.
What do we know about trick or treat? Do we know about the origins of that?
Yeah, like I said, that goes back to the medieval times. Like I said, they used to dress up for like celebrating the death of people coming into the other world. That's what the more thing about it is. It goes back to the Celtic times as well. The trick or treating, like dressing up and then going back. But people have just took it to the next step of trick or treating.
What do we think of trick or treaters? Nuisances or an important part of the festival?
Important to the history, but can be annoying. But important to the history, yeah.
Depends on how far they take it, really, doesn't it? Especially, I'm sure not many people ask for a trick. I'm sure it's generally treats, but you do wonder, don't you? Rotten eggs at the window?
You do wonder what the trick's going to be.
Well, we hope you've enjoyed this first episode of Shadowcast. Please join us next time, where we will be talking about the spooky, the anomalous, and the downright bizarre. It's goodbye from me.
Goodbye from me.
Farewell.
And farewell. Bye.